Hey everyone, Arcade here bringing you my 2 cents on Cuphead. Let's talk about it. Cuphead was released September 29th, 2017 for both Xbox One and PC. What exactly is Cuphead? Imagine an alternate universe, where 1930s Disney cartoons have access to a time machine, and they take that time machine, climb aboard, and head for the 80s. The 1980s. Upon arrival, they meet this cool video game named Contra. In Contra, Steamboat Willie and friends quickly become best pals and decide to do acid together one day. In their LSD-soaked haze, they end up sleeping together and have such an odd-looking baby that by the end of this completely realistic scenario, everyone who sees the baby can't help but be intrigued. That baby would be Cuphead, a game about two anthropomorphic cups named Cuphead and Mugman. The two walking, talking, living, breathing ceramic coffee containers end up signing a contract with the devil. Not like in a record contract sort of way, but more like a sell your soul kind of way. In the contract, they agree that in exchange for keeping their souls, Cup Dude and Mug Boy must collect the souls of others who have made a similar deal with the devil and didn't pay up. How about the presentation? Look, this game is fire trucking, finger sucking, fist fucking fantastic to look at. The aesthetic of it is so eye-catching, so mystifying that you can't help but look on in awe and wonder, how does something like this exist? How have we not seen this sooner? The visuals invoked one of my favorite feelings a person who feels can feel. Nostalgia! It's happy, it's joyful, it's warm and vibrant. It's violent as hell, and I didn't realize until reviewing this game how graphic cartoons from that era actually were. Everything here is hand-drawn, and you can tell that some serious TLC went into the art of this game. It certainly shows. Now let's talk about the music and sound for a second. Do you like brass? Huh? You like brass? You like jazz? Well, get ready for some bombastic brass blown by baritone boys. This game's soundtrack is like a California hillside in the middle of August. Lit. Every track is bouncy, full of brass, energetic, and fits the level associated with it, even going as far as to giving each individual boss its own epic showdown track. I like that shit. I love that shit. And I think you will as well. The sound here is somewhat harder to critique, however. I'm not sure if I really like it all that much. I think I do, but the game weaves the sound effects in and out so well that sometimes they almost seem lost, like they almost disappear into the background music entirely. But I think that's what they were going for, honestly. The game has this mono sound to it, reminiscent of how games on the Game Boy sounded. It certainly fits the style of the game and adds furthermore to the aesthetic that Cuphead practically oozes. Altogether, the music and sound effects all come together quite nicely, and even though it may sound odd at times, it does fit the game very well. Therefore, I'd have to say that the presentation here as a whole is pretty top-notch. We're talking about some hella primo stuff here. Careful, it's hot. And finally, the gameplay. Cuphead is primarily a boss rush game, but it has a few gun and run levels sprinkled throughout as well. There's a central overworld you explore, which opens up more to the player as the stages presented are completed. And this game is hard too, like Kakuna spamming hard and hard. We're talking some grade A level diamonds hard. It took me upwards of an hour and a half to complete just one boss fight. Now, not all of them took me that long, but all of them did leave me with a feeling of tremendous accomplishment upon completion. And that, to me at least, is worth the patience and concentration that some of these levels certainly require. You also have the option of playing with 1 or 2 players. I live alone in a hut far off the coast of Madagascar though, so I had nobody to co-op with. Therefore, I won't be commenting on that topic. Now, the gameplay itself is smooth. It's slick and responsive. Some platformers perform like a rental car that's been around more than your local corner prostitute. Others perform like a sweet, sexy new ride that you just purchased off the lot. And Cuphead falls into the latter here. The controls are simple enough, although they're laid out somewhat uncomfortably on the controller. You have a button to shoot, a button to dodge, a button for your super ability, and a button to jump. Both movement and aiming are bound to the left stick, which for me took a bit of getting used to. Once I got it down though, the game played very well. I was able to react in time to most attacks, and the ones I couldn't avoid were usually followed up by me realizing how easily that damage could have been prevented. The game allows for a bit of customization as well, which becomes practically essential once you reach the later stages. You can equip your primary attack, a secondary attack, as well as a charm that allows for things like instant parrying or momentary invincibility while dashing, and a super attack. This adds a nice layer of depth to the game that isn't overly complex or gimmicky. So overall, how do I feel? I love this game. Everything about it to me is what I never knew I wanted in a game. Since it was announced at E3 a few years ago, I've had my eye on it, and so have thousands of other people. Now that it's finally out, I'm more than happy to say it was worth the wait. The guys, gals, and any fourth dimensional beings that worked on this game should give themselves a pat on the back. What they have created here is something quite close to a masterpiece. It's rare that I play a game that makes me want to revisit it after completion. There's something about the setting, the warm nostalgic vibe it gives off, the retro gameplay found in Cuphead that invokes the feeling of childhood in me. I've more than enjoyed my time with it, and I'm going to keep enjoying it after this review. There's a good chunk of content to eat through, and it's all more than reasonably priced at a mere 20 bucks. So would I recommend it? Would I recommend Cuphead? Oh, most certainly. I'd even go so far as to say it's definitely worth full price. So that was my 2 cents on Cuphead. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to completely pound that like button like you have Life Alert, have fallen and can't get up, click that sub button like you're the 10,000th visitor to a website and today's lucky winner, and I'll see you all next time.